Hello everyone, Tina here. I'm back again with another 5 easy step card tutorial. Thanks so much for joining me. We're just gonna jump right in and create. Today we're making a berrylicious card. So break out your strawberries because I'm using a very large strawberry today, just one. This will be step number 1, my focal point. This is the Felt Berry Blossom die set. It's part of the Summer Felt and Stitch collection over at Spellbinders. It was designed by Nicole Spohr and it's just adorable. I'm actually going to make 2 cards today, so I have a bonus at the end if you want to stick around. Today's card is so cute and so summery. We're going to start by doing a little bit of die cutting. So I'm going to take this, grab some cardstock. We're just going traditional berry. Now normally with the stitching dies, you'll notice that I'll leave some videos linked at the end where I created some designs with the felt stitch. Usually a faux stitch, which you could do that today if you wanted to. But I'm actually going to do some stitching today just because I had a little extra time and I thought it'd be fun. So I have some cardstock. This piece here goes behind the berry background. We're going to use just this piece, so I'll die cut this out with red. There's a flower in here, or a blossom, that I'm going to die cut out with white. And then there is the little button that goes in the center. I'll cut out with yellow. And then I have the top of the berry. There are 2 pieces. One has a lot of stitch detail. One is just the outline. For my card today, I'm just using the outline. And I'll cut out multiples of the flowers. So I will run these through my die cut machine, and I'll be right back. Now I have everything die cut out. And again, if you want to use a marker, a green marker and a black marker and go around the dotted detail, I think that would look just as cute. But I haven't stitched and I really like the texture that it will add to my card today. I do have some embroidery floss. I picked this up from Spellbinders. This has a variety in here. And I'm going to use the red, of course. And then we will use the green. This green has a gradient to it. So there's light and dark. So I'm going to use this for my berry topper. I'm just going to show you a snippet of how I stitch because I don't want the video to be really long. Okay, so what I do is take my strawberry with the holes around the edge. And if some of the holes don't pop out, that's okay. You can pop them out with your needle when you do your stitching. I'm bringing in a little bit of tape. Just some clear tape. What I like to do is just tape the end so it's not going to go anywhere. Here. And then for me, this is easier. People do it everybody does it differently, but this is how I do it. I'm going to try and zoom in. Okay, I go up and then down, and I just keep repeating that, up and then down. So I'm down and then up. What you're going to end up doing is skipping a stitch. Oops. Let me do a few more so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. This is the front and this is the back. The back looks the same as the front. Okay, and then once I go all the way around doing it this way, I'm going to come back. So I'm going to come back through the stitch that I just did, and then I'm going to repeat it. So now it's going to be a continuous stitch line, so that it doesn't look like I skipped any. So I'm just going to take my time, do my little stitching, and I'll be right back. Okay, my stitching is all done. Let me show you up close what it looks like. When I finished it, I just secured it with some more tape on the back. And if you wanted to use felt, you could. Spellbinders has some great, but high quality felt. And then Amazon also has some felt that's stiff that would work great. If you'd like to use it for the front of the cards, I think the stiff felt would work great. If you have the high quality and you want to give it as a gift, I would recommend Spellbinders. But it does add so much. And then of course if you wanted to stuff it, you would definitely put the back piece to this. And sew 2 pieces together. But I think this is just going to make a great little focal point for our card today. What I'm going to do now is take my glue, and we are going to add that black piece, which is slightly smaller than the berry. We're just going to add it behind here. And it fits around that stitch detail perfect too. Just like that. And our berries are all done. That, you can't get any easier than that. So cute. Okay, I am going to pop up my leaf portion or my berry stem with some foam tape. And how cute is that strawberry? That will be our focal point. And then as far as my flowers go, I'm going to layer 2 sets together, fluffing up the petals on one and kind of slightly offsetting it for a little dimension. If you wanted to stitch these, you very well could, but take a black marker, just go across those 2 dots and it will look like it's threaded. It takes no time at all, and I don't think the recipient will know. Look, I'll show you. Looks like it's stitched. This is a needle minder from Spellbinders. It's so cute. It has a really super strong magnet on the back that will hold your needles. I'll link this down below. But it's really cute for sewing. You won't be able to lose your needles or pins with that. Okay, that's our focal point. Let's move along to step number 2, which means we're going to create our home panel. For my home panel, I'm bringing in a rectangle die set. I'm using the Precision Layering A2 die set. This is set A, but it has several sets that coordinate together. So they're not the same sizes, but this is set A. What I'm going to do is create a frame, a white frame, using 2 of them. And my frame's going to be on the thinner side. I'll show you the width here. So it's about a 1/4 inch size of a frame that I'm going to create with these. Okay, and then I'm also going to take another die set. This is the Simon Hurley's Candy Stripes, and we're going to create a background with white cardstock using this. I want to put some stripes behind my window frame. So I will run these through my die cut machine, and I'll be right back. So this is the size of my frame. It can actually vary if you want. Now I'm going to take this and put some glue behind it. We're going to add some custom stripes. Now if you don't have a diagonal striped background die, you could use some thin strips of cardstock if you wanted to and do the same thing. I'm going to layer this directly on that striped background. Okay, and then I'm going to take my scissors and go around the edge of my frame and keep this second piece because you can use this on another project if you wanted to. I'll take a piece of vellum that's the same size as the outer portion of our frame. And let me tell you the size of this, because if you want to just use a rectangle die, if you want to just use your paper trimmer and trim down a panel, this measures 3 1/4 inches tall by 4 1/2 inches wide. Let's go ahead and take our berry. I am going to pop it up with some foam squares. We're going to add this to the right side of our panel there. And then I'm going to bring in some smaller foam squares and we are going to add some flowers. Our home panel is all done. Now we're going to work on step number 3, which means we need to create our sentiment. Now for my card today, I'm bringing in a stamp set. This is called the All Seasons Sentiments. And I'm going to be using, let's see, I thought Pick of the Patch, since it's a strawberry, would go really cute with my card. So let's bring in an acrylic block. I think that's going to go really well with strawberries. Now I'm going to use my scissors and I'm going to fussy cut this out. If you just want to create a strip with this, you can. But this is, to me, going around the greeting is sometimes a little bit playful. I put foam tape behind here, and part of this is going to overlap. So I'm going to take another foam strip, trim it down a little bit, and I'm going to place it over here on this side. This way when we stack it over our berry, everything is nice and level. I'm going to add it right here. Maybe we'll scoot it over a little. I think that just looks adorable. Now we're going to work on step number 4, which means we're going to create our background. We're going to use pattern paper for our background today and keep it nice and simple. I'm using the Simple Stories Vintage, Simple Vintage Fresh Snow 6x8 paper pad. And there are some polka dots in here. Actually, there are these ones right here. And I'm going to take a rectangle die. I'm going to cut this out. I used a rectangle die, but you don't have to, because this panel measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. So it's going to leave me a border on my card base. Let's go ahead and adhere this down. And that will be my background. Let's add our home panel right over the top. I'm going to use glue to do this, just going around that frame. If you wanted to add dimension by popping this up, you could, but I think with the berry I have plenty of dimension here, so this is just going to go directly on my background. So you see how that vellum kind of softens the polka dots in the back? So cute. Now we're going to move along to step number 5, which means it's time to embellish. I'm bringing in some gems. These gems are the Spellbinders Color Mix. Color Mix has iridescent on the bottom and then kind of a cloudy iridescent on the top. And I'm going to use, let's see, what kind are we going to use? And I'm just going to add the iridescent gem to the center of my buttons. I actually covered up the faux stitching that I added on there. But I think that looks really cute. I'm going to move the flower from down this center. Up here in this top corner, so it kind of goes at an angle. I think that looks nicer. And that will finish off that card in 5 easy steps. We're going to make another card, but the next card that I'm going to create is using Spellbinders Felt Sunflower Bloom. Oh goodness, this is such a cute die set. Great for stitching. I think this is one of the, if you like wrapping presents, I think this would be so cute as a tag on a present with felt. So adorable. Now let's move along through our bonus card quickly. Step number 1 is our focal point. So I'm going to do some die cutting with this. And I went ahead and stitched my leaves and the flower center also. Okay, we're just going to layer the flower together. This is such a cute floral, and it's like the perfect size for making a tag, for adding to a card, any size card. It's so cute. Okay, after this is adhered, I did stitch the circle here. You can see I'm just going to add some glue behind here, and we're going to tack this in the center. I think that looks adorable, but wait until you add this piece. This piece is so cute. And then I also have my leaves that we're going to add a little bit of glue to, and we're just going to tack these down over here. And I did 2 different colors of green cardstock. Okay, this piece, I'm using Spellbinders. This is beeswax. Okay, and Spellbinders cardstock is a great weight, so I need to break the fibers of this just a little bit. So I'm using my bone folder, and I'm going to kind of curl the paper. You can't go wrong doing this. You see how the paper kind of curls? I'm going to flip it over and do the opposite side carefully, because these are cut lines in there. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it in half. If you wanted to use a glue gun for this next step, you could. I ran out of glue sticks with my glue gun because I actually took a vase that I picked up at the secondhand store. It's a very, very large vase, and I'm putting some twine around it. So I ran out of twine, and I actually ran out of glue sticks too. So I'm going to use my glue, and I'm going to seal the bottoms on one side. I'm going to seal both sides just with a little bit of glue. Okay, and then I'm going to use my reverse tweezers The packaging, okay, let me show you the die here. Now the die says, I love this about Spellbinders, this little tab here says to die cut 2 of these out. So if you're using felt, die cut 2 out and it will fill in your flower center. I'm just going to do 1 because I don't want that much dimension. So let me show you what I mean by just doing 1. I'm loosely going to curl this, just like this, creating a little flower stamen center, like so. Okay, and if you were to do 2, it would be the width of this, but I'm just going to do 1. Now I'm going to remove my tweezers. I'm going to hold it flat, push it down, and then I'm going to flatten it. I'm going to let it go now, and I'm going to loosen it up a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to reopen it now. Okay, and then I'm going to again curl it. Now I put a little glue at the end piece, okay, and then I'm going to attach it here. But you see how loose that is in the back? What I did is just kind of made it extra flat. If you were not to do that, it would have a lot more height to it. But I just wanted to add this and add a little dimension to my flower. Okay, so once that is adhered, I'm going to add some extra glue behind here. I want to put it right in the flower center. And you can smush it again if you wanted to. Watch. You see how I flatten that? It's not very bulky. Felt will definitely be bulky, but paper you can do this. And again, if you were to use 2, it would be harder to do. But I love the way that looks. How cool is that? This is one of those dies for all your large flowers to put in the flower center. Love that. So that is the focal point. I know I spent a little bit of time on this, but I wanted to show you how to do it because it makes a big difference. Step number 2 is our home panel. I had created the same size frame, but this time I used my pattern paper, the same pattern paper that we used for our first card. What I'm going to do is add glue and attach it to a larger rectangle of white cardstock. We'll just center it here. I'm going to add some glue and we'll add our flower. Now I do want I don't want any extra dimension to my flower, but I do want it to the leaves. So I'm going to bring in a foam square and I'm just going to tuck it under the leaves here. This is going to give my leaves a little bit of extra dimension. You can actually curl them up too. Step number 3, I already created my greetings using the same stamp set we used for our first card. This one I stamped Sunshine and Smiles. I did put foam tape behind here. I'm going to layer it right across here. Step number 4 is my background. I'm going to use some red cardstock. This measures 4 inches by 5 1/4. And this is going to go on the front of my card base. We're going to add some color here. And I am going to pop this up with some foam tape and I'm going to place it right in the center. Now moving along, step number 5, we need to embellish using the same crystal mix gems. I'm going to add a few gems in our background. This time I'm going to use the cloudy ones. And then that will finish off that card. I think this is perfect for 4th of July too. Actually, both of them are perfect for the 4th of July holiday season. So much fun. Thanks so much for joining me for another 5 easy step card tutorial. I hope you have a lovely day and we'll see you again real soon. I have lots of fun projects to share with you. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.